Hello, and welcome to RT Magazine, a show about Middletown High School, its students, and the community. News about you and for you. I'm Kaylin Zanlow, and in this week's episode, the G. Buchanan Studio of Dance is open for business with new safety protocols. MHS junior Gabby Pieklo helps owners treat their pets right. Ryan Lawler recommends something to keep you busy. And in a classic RT Plus segment, we revisit Grant Baker making some impressive ping pong ball trick shots to kill time during the early days of quarantine. This week's show is brought to you by
Shockley Honda, located across from Westview on Route 85.
In our first segment, Erin Katie gives us a look at how one local dance studio is keeping its dancers safe but still dancing.
Many dance studios across the country have been trying to come up with new solutions to be able to dance as a group amongst a pandemic. Members of local dance studio D. Buchanan Studio of Dance share their experiences.
It's challenging in a lot of ways, but after being exclusively virtual from mid-March until June, opening even with restrictions has been very liberating. It's exciting. We're learning a lot. We're learning a lot about new protocols and things, but it's actually thrilling to be back.
In reopening, Buchanan shares the restrictions that have been put in place, and a few dancers give their experience with those restrictions.
So one of the things has to do with when students are coming in and out. So we have to do a temperature check when they show up. We have a closed waiting room, right? So their parents wait outside while they come through to make sure that they're going to be able to stay, which, knock on wood, has been great. Everybody's been able to stay. And then there's a hands-free hand sanitizer so that we can make sure they sanitize before they go in the classroom. Once they're in the room, there are distance markers so that they know that they can stay sufficiently apart from one another, socially distanced while they're dancing. And we do that through either dots or boxes or a combination of those things so that they can be aware of how to use their space throughout the time they're here. And then at the end of class, they sanitize again, of course, and we sanitize anything that they would have touched. And everybody's masked throughout the day and evening.
It's kind of difficult dancing with these restrictions just because you have to be in your quadrant and be mindful of others. It's difficult to breathe when you're obviously dancing. So just it getting really hot and being difficult to breathe.
It's pretty hard because when you're wearing a mask, it gets really hot easily and sometimes you feel like you can't breathe as well.
It's just a little more difficult than it is normally because of course the mask makes it harder to breathe and you have to stay in a certain amount of space.
The dance studio is also experimenting with a hybrid format in which dancers are able to take class over Zoom or in person.
I think the hybrid is necessary for safety of other people, but I would like to be in in-person classes more than I'd like to be on Zooms.
I think it's a really good adaptation, except I wish it didn't have to be that way, of course, because when you're online, you feel like you're not as connected with the class.
I think it's necessary because some people aren't ready to come back to the studio and it offers a way for them to be a part of the studio still.
Honestly, I do think that resilience that we've found in our dancers is a strength that is just going to carry with them. We've just said that the year of 2020 has been truly character building, and so there has to be the long-term effect of being able to push yourself through a new scenario like this and to be successful.
I just hope that I'll still be able to improve the same way I did last year and that eventually we can all be face-to-face with no masks.
I hope that we all continue to dance together in the studio.
It has literally been maybe one of the most frustrating and most rewarding things I've ever experienced as a business owner because people are just beyond great about how they're coping with these changes.
While it seems our lives revolve around the pandemic, there are ways to get your mind off of it. Ryan Lawler gives us his recommendation for a nice diversion.
Welcome to Roundtable Media's Diversion segment. In this segment, I'd like to recommend to you the new movie Tenet, which is just released in theaters. Tenet is a story about a secret agent who disembarks on a time-traveling adventure to stop World War III.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Kind of crazy, right? It's a really good movie. It may trick you once in a while, but it's a really good movie filled with action. It really reminds you of a lot of the summer blockbusters that didn't come out this year due to coronavirus. But I'd have to say, if you really want something to take your mind off of everything and have a really good time at the movies, this is the best movie you could choose. Great acting, great story, and just all around a really good movie. So, if you're looking for something to do, go see Tenet.
For most of us, summer break is about hanging out with friends, hitting the beach, or just laying around in the sun. For one student, it was about starting a business. Lydia Vantry tells us what Gabby Pilecko did with her summer.
Middletown High School junior Gabby Pieclo started a pet and animal treat business. I interviewed her to find out a little bit more about her business and how long it's been going on for.
Well, first, I made treats for my dog, and I decided to give them to some friends. And my sister gave some to her boyfriend, and his mom was like, "These are really good. She should, start a business." And I've thought about selling things at the farmer's market before, but I didn't know that dog treats would be it, or pet treats or whatever would be it. And it's just really fun, and I really like it.
I've been selling them for about 3 months now.
Pieclo tells us a little bit about the kinds of treats that she sells.
I have 3 types of dog treats. I have pumpkin treats, peanut butter treats, and carob treats. And I also have tuna treats for cats and little pup cupcakes.
Here are some of the ways that you can go and buy them.
I sell them at the Myersville Farmers Market, and I also have an online store, treatemrt.com.
Pieclo talks us through the process behind making all of the treats.
Making one batch of one type of treat takes about an hour, maybe less. And then, so for the dog treats, it takes longer because I have to make the dough, I have to roll it out, I have to use the cookie cutters to cut out the shapes, and then I bake them in the oven for about 20 minutes. And then for the cat treats, those take less than an hour. They're really easy. And the puppy cupcakes, those take about less than an hour too, because I just make it, put it in the tins, and bake that.
She tells us about how her business, Treat 'em Right, has gone so far.
It's been going great. I'm getting support from friends and family, and they're kind of sharing my social media page, which helps me.
But what are her plans for the future?
Definitely want to grow my social media and reach out to new people, because I haven't gotten many online orders, but I want to get more and kind of expand into that. I don't know how long I'm going to do the business. It might go with me further in the future, but for right now, I'm sticking with it.
Pieclo tells us a little bit about why we should buy her treats.
It's all homemade. I make them all myself, so I try to use good ingredients, and I do my research on the ingredients, like dogs love peanut butter and pumpkin. Those are good for a dog's digestive system, and then I make sure to put good quality in all the treats that I make.
So where can you find Pieclo on social media and online?
On Instagram, we are treatemrt, and on Facebook, it's the same thing.
And the website is the same thing.com.
What's a guy to do to kill time during a pandemic? Well, during the stay-at-home stage last spring, junior Grant Baker spent some of his time making trick shots with ping pong balls. Check out this instant artsy plus classic.
Hey guys, I'm Grant Baker, and today we're going to be doing cool ping pong shots around my house. So, let's get into it.
Episode of RT Magazine, part of the Roundtable's multimedia experience. You can find all our episodes on mhsroundtable.com, or you can download our app, Student News Source, for access to our articles, videos, podcasts, and more. Have a great weekend.